have never seen a sea tractor in my life. Those things are so sick. Okay, hey, we've got the key now to the pub. Okay, let's not go in there just yet. Let's go do a lap of the island and see what people have to say. Because I would like to chat with some people. Is Major Barry still going to be creeping around down here? No, just the young kid. What's up, my guy?
I can't really talk right now. Maybe later.
Cool, I hate you.
It is quite a view, Hastings. But I fear my eyesight is not up to the task of making out any items of interest unaided.
Oh, we can use the binoculars here, can't we? Let's give it a try. What is that floating out there?
There is something snagged by the swimming float. I wonder what it could be.
Why don't you show us?
Lifering away by the look of it. I wonder if a ship has come to harm. I know there's no use asking if you have a quick swim out there to have a look.
I am happy you realize that, my friend.
Okay, you bastards. So, it's cool though that we can actually use the binocular in more places than just the watchtower. Trying to think of where else we could go with that. Who's this? Have we met before?
Good afternoon, Madame Gardner.
Oh, it's Gardner.
Hello, Mr. Poirot.
Damn,
May I join you?
I already
I
regret
should
this.
like the company. Thank you.
Monsieur Gardner seems young to be already retired.
Oh, well, to tell you the truth, Mr. Poirot, retirement chose Oakley. He did not choose it.
A financial misfortune.
Yes. You recall his mentioning the theatre he used to manage?
Bien, sir.
He was the owner as well. The theatre had not been doing well. Oakley hit on the idea of paying a great deal of money, more than he could afford to lose, to attract a major star to perform there.
It was Arlena
She
Stewart.
took the money and claimed illness. The show was cancelled. There was nothing for it but to close. We live off his army pension and a bit half put away.
It was totally Arlena Stewart. She was the one who ruined them. It's so easy to see that.
That is a very beautiful shawl.
Oh, thank you. It seems as I've been working on it for ages.
You enjoy the knitting?
Oh, yes. Oakley has his coins. I have this. There. Finished.
Oh, you are very skilled. What brought you to Seadrift Island, Madame Gardner?
Oh, my goodness.
What is it?
Our anniversary is today. Our 29th anniversary, and I had forgotten it. Oh, I have nothing to give him.
Wait.
Perhaps that shawl?
She just
I have
deflected
often
really
found
hard.
them of great value, fending off the cold of a winter evening.
Oakley wouldn't be caught dead in a shawl. And I have no time to knitting anything else.
I see.
Oh, Mr. Poirot, I know he'd give me my present at dinner. What shall I do?
Allow Poirot to assist you. I will find a suitable gift.
She...
If you could do that, this shawl is yours. I'd better get back to the hotel. I want to be ready for dinner.
What business do we have in taking her shawl?
Poirot, there is too much going on to bother ourselves with this.
Au contraire, my friend. It does not hurt to help others in need. And that is a shawl I would prize.
Okay then, she totally dodged the question when we asked what they were doing on the island and just said, "Oh, mercy me, it's my husband's anniversary," which probably isn't even his anniversary. What are you two
Did
doing?
you know that woman was going to be here?
Look, Christine. I
The
don't
Red
know what's
Ferns.
come over
We've not met
Over
these.
me? Oh, Patrick, you insisted so on coming here. You knew Mrs. Marsh was going to be here. You're infatuated with her.
For God's sake, Christine, don't make a fool of yourself.
Shit.
We've been so happy.
We are happy. But we shan't go on being happy if I can't even speak to another woman without you kicking up a row.
You're in love with her.
Don't be ridiculous. Come on, let's go back to the hotel.
I'm climbing down to Cutter's Cove. You can come if you like.
What? No, don't go there.
Good.
That's the scene of the murder.
No, my friend. Yet there is nothing we can do. Events will take their course.
Dude, we know that that's where the murder takes place. Who are you?
What do you think you're playing at?
Poirot, he goes for the afternoon constitutional. Nothing more.
Poirot, you say? The detective?
You bet you're
The
shitting
very
bricks now.
same?
I'm Patrick Redfern.
Okay.
My wife, Christie, and I. You down here on the case?
No.
Sure
Merely
we
the
are.
holiday. Oh, you are on holiday as well?
That's right. I'm an estate agent. War is hard on the housing market. So we took a few days off.
War is hard on many things.
That's true enough.
Okay, so he's the one who we saw swimming out there with Arlena. She's Arlena Marshall now, okay, not Arlena Stewart. She's married.
I observed earlier, you enjoy their friendship with Elena Marshall.
Oh, she's just an acquaintance Christine and I made up in London.
And what do you think of the island?
How do you like Seadrift Island?
I think it's grand, actually. The weather has been cooperating and the swimming is first rate. I used to spend most of my time as a boy exploring this coast long before there was a hotel here.
Quite the coincidence, all of you turning up here.
Yes, rather.
What was it like here when you were a boy?
Just the Smugglers and pub, all shut up, here on the island, and Cutter's Cave, of course.
Cutter's Cave?
Cutter's
It's behind
Cave.
some rocks down in Cutter's Cove there. You haven't explored it?
No. The ladder? It is safe?
The metal one sounds enough. You can also row around from the bathing beach if you like.
And
Ooh.
Mrs. Redfern, does she share your enthusiasm?
Yes, she's enjoying her sketching immensely. She's quite good at it too. If you'll excuse me, Mr. Poirot, I'm going to wait on the deck for my wife.
You might be waiting a long time, bud.
What are you thinking, Hastings?
Fine, Poirot does not climb up and down ladders, even if it's to save a life. We get it.
I imagine it.
Yes, Hastings.
Okay, let's give a quick poke around to see if there's anything else we can do before we go check out that haunted pub. Is the young Marshall girl down here? Oh, there's a cutscene.
Oh, Mr. Poirot, this is a splendid blind. The birds
What?
practically walked right up to me.
What was
I
that
am
jump?
pleased you find it adequate, Mademoiselle Marshall.
But there's something wrong. Look at that one on the rock nearest the shore. What is on it, Mr. Poirot?
It looks like oil, Poirot. Maybe from a leaky boat engine.
Or a U-boat.
It'll kill the bird, I'm afraid.
Mademoiselle, it is oil, I fear. Very bad for living things.
Oh, please, please, Mr. Poirot. We must try to save it.
Oh, man.
Hastings? I am out of my depth here.
I'm afraid I am too, old man. Maybe there's someone in the village who could help us?
To the village, he says. Well, I don't know what to do about a bird covered in oil. I mean, Poirot won't stop a murder of a human happening, but he has to save every little species that runs into some trouble in the ocean. Okay, nothing new here, I don't think. Alright, let's go check out the pub. Unless there's something at the tennis court? Oh yeah, there's somebody here. Is this Mr. Oakley? Who has some motives now?
Bonjour, Monsieur Gardner.
It is.
Have you lost something?
What? Oh, hello, Mr. Poirot. Lost something? No. Just looking at the grass.
Doesn't he need a tennis ball?
You look at the grass with great intensity.
Nothing wrong in that, I hope. My hobby could be gardening, like my name.
It could be, that is true. But you have already told me your hobby is collecting rare coins.
I did I? Well, it's true.
This guy... A lot of people have become suddenly suspicious this episode.
A wonderful view from this spot.
Yes, I'm told Tom Cutter spent long hours up here, watching the sea for ships that might run aground.
What brings you and the charming Mrs. Gardner to Seadrift Island?
Whim, I think. I don't quite recollect. No, that's not it. Oh my God.
What is it?
Why did we come here? We came here...
Are you
Good
serious?
God, man. Today is our anniversary.
Neither of you remembered?
29th anniversary, now you've completely forgotten. What am I going to do? If I try to sneak into time, she'll know. She'll know I forgot.
Tell her.
Do not
Tell
concern
him.
yourself, my friend. I, Hercule Poirot, will undertake this mission for you.
Bro!
And Mrs. Gardner will be none the wiser.
That's very decent of you, Mr. Poirot. What can I do in return? Just repaying you doesn't seem enough.
Huh? Possibly tell me the truth about why you came to Seadrift Island.
I expect you've already guessed, but if you can find Carrie a present, I'll be happy to share all I know.
Eh bien, no time must be lost. What shall I purchase for her?
Why, I don't know. Use your own discretion. No frilly undergarments, no, that wouldn't do. I need to alert the cook. We'll want a little cake and champagne.
Okay. So he's gonna go make some preparations to have... Oh, were we body blocking him? I don't know. Is this where the tennis court is? Yeah, the tennis court's over here. Okay, yeah. There's still, like, the restaurant and everything inside, but I just want to go see the pub now. I don't care about you two. I'll talk to you later. Just go right past everybody. It's haunted pub time, everyone. And I'm pumped.
The door, it is...
Oh, that's right. We need the key. Smuggler's End pub key.
Without error, mon ami.
Without effort. Yo, this place is cool. Looks like they haven't redecorated in 300 years.
That dartboard looks centuries old. I say, Poirot, see the carved letters? 2 N's and an E.
Where? Oh, N, N, E. And each one is correlating to a number, 20, 19, and 15. We will have to look out for more number motifs, because that's probably some kind of code. Good eye, Hastings. This is where we saw Tom Cutter hallucinate a ghost. And look, another dartboard thing on the wall.
What have we here, Hastings?
Yeah, what is this? What is this shit?
What have we...
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure what that's about. What's this thing? Oh no, that's just the stairs. There's gotta be some more important stuff down here. Should probably do the second floor first, to be honest. Is there nothing else in here I can see? Really? I was so excited for the spooky pub, though. Poirot is now glitched walking onto the wall. Aww. Is that really all? Let me check, like, all the barrels. Oh yeah, what's this?
What have we here, Hastings?
Okay, we get it. Fill up the glass from this tap. Have a swig. Wait, what is it a glass of? Dark rum. I see. Whenever Poirot says, "What have we here, Hastings?" that's his way of saying it's something we can interact with. So what do we do to interact with this thing? Empty bottle?
What have...
Stethoscope, maybe?
Oh, this is neither that...
Binoculars? No. No. The rum? No. Couldn't tell you. That's a tricky one. Alright, let's get back topside then. We'll be back once we have some more things to investigate. I'm trying to think if there's someone we could give that rum to, maybe to settle their nerves eventually. So, I, from this point forward, actually went ahead to play to the end of this chapter, more or less, but encountered a problem in the recording, where I more or less lost all of the sound for all the footage, which I really didn't want to have to upload that way because it's a pretty dialogue-intensive chapter game. And I decided that I will now re-record and make up for the progress that I lost and walk you guys through the rest of this chapter. So we're actually going to make multiple trips back and forth from the mainland in this chapter. And first, I think we need to go ahead and talk with a good number of people here on the actual island. For starters, we come around this corner. We've got Creepazoid General over here, Major Barry.
I did not mean to frighten you, Major Barry.
What? Frightened me? A man with 20 years of service to Her Majesty on the frontier? Rubbish.
Instantly, Hastings' spidey senses go off here.
That fellow is up to something, Poirot. Mark my words.
Something or someone had certainly captured his interest.
And us knowing Major Barry, it's pretty easy to come to the conclusion of what's just up ahead this path. Here we finally meet Arlena Stewart, or Arlena Marshall, as I suppose she's legally named now.
Madame Marshall?
This island is too small. There is nowhere to hide.
If you wish it, I will withdraw.
No, never mind. The famous detective, I believe.
I am at your service, madame.
Are you indeed? That's uncommonly good of you. I understand Kenneth told you about the notes I've received.
I think you should take these notes seriously, madame.
You may be right.
You have had that change of heart, then?
You could say that.
In order to help you, I must ask of you some questions.
Impertinent questions, I should think.
Necessary questions.
Very well, then.
So let's go ahead and run down the order of these.
Was it Mr. Marshall who made you decide to speak with me?
Kenneth? No, of course not.
What was it, then?
I've received another threat. Here it is. The day of your punishment is at hand. It sounds rather like things are coming to a head, doesn't it?
I would say so, yes.
Now, there's something actually very interesting about that note, which I'll get to in a minute. Let's go ahead and talk about with the rest of her.
Do you know of anyone who might wish you harm?
I'm rich, beautiful, and famous. There's a certain delight in those who are not rich or beautiful or famous when someone like me makes a misstep or suffers some tragedy.
What a pleasant
The
lady.
newspapers and film magazines thrive on stories of the high and mighty brought low.
All that you say may be true. Yet these notes do not sound as if they were written from jealousy. The underlying emotion feels to me different.
Hatred?
Exact.
It's no secret I get on with men, Monsieur Poirot. I like men. Men like me. Not so the women.
Couldn't
If
tell
I
you
were to
why.
suspect anyone, it would be a woman who believed I had wronged her in some way.
A name would be helpful.
Possibly. But that is all I'm going to say.
Keep your secrets then, Arlena.
Has anyone here on the island aroused your suspicions?
No, not a soul.
This surprises me. I thought actors were keen observers of the human nature.
Do not confuse lack of observation with lack of interest, Monsieur Poirot.
Is there nothing you can tell me that would assist me in helping you?
Tell me this. Are you certain the notes mean my life is in danger?
No, madame, I am not.
Oh, come now, Poirot. Isn't it obvious?
It's kind of obvious, Poirot.
No, Hastings. Nothing is obvious.
I agree with you. Good day.
And with that, Arlena gets back to her sunbathing and gives us a copy of the note she received. Now, this is something that I found to be pretty interesting. If we take a look at the past notes, we also have the code book, we'll take a look at that too. As we'd noted before, the H in the previous notes has a weird characteristic where it's always at a cant. You see that it's kind of a little up and to the left, kind of slanted. However, in the third note, this H in hand does that, but the H in punishment is different. It's clearly straight up and down, and then the M after it is slightly damaged. So I'm not sure the significance of that. Could be an oversight. Maybe I'm reading too deep into it, but it seems like something more went into the creation of this note than all the others did. Time will tell. Now, we can actually go poking around in some of the rooms now, but before we do that, let's make a run of the island and talk with everybody we can find. If we go down here, the young kid, I don't know, he looks younger than he probably is. The beach attendant is actually gone, so we can break into his shed and take multiple items. It's the 3 items that just appeared in that pop second, if you can believe it. First off,
Boat varnish. Poirot, open the lid.
Poirot opens the lid so that Hastings can have a drink.
If I get any of this boat varnish on my clothes, you will pay the cleaning bills? Alas, it is stuck fast. I cannot open it.
And I am not sure how to open that yet, so we will figure that one out together. Otherwise, there's a boat oar up here. Wait till you see what we use that for.
I say, fellow has an excellent stroke, Poirot.
And then that raft right there. Okay. Very nice. Let's go ahead and think. What else is there to do? We already looked at this,
It
didn't
is
we?
quite a view, Hastings.
Yeah, we looked at that, and... What? Let me make sure, though, because maybe he'll look at it again.
There is something snagged by the swimming float.
Life-ring boy by the look of it. I know there's no use on...
I am
Okay, so there's a life ring buoy that is snagged out on the rocks, and we need to find a way to retrieve it. So if we go and find, I think Mr. Redfern, Patrick Redfern. Yeah, this fellow right here. We can tell him about the buoy.
Monsieur Redfern, Poirot is not a swimmer like you. I noticed something caught on the swimming float. It may cause an injury to someone. Would you retrieve it?
I'd be happy to help you, but the strap on my swimming goggles is broken. As much as I like swimming, I can't go into the saltwater without my goggles.
Poor
Perhaps
man.
I can repair them for you.
There you go. I'll be here most of the afternoon, I expect, if you manage to fix them.
Okay, so Patrick will now go stand and look over this ladder for a good 3 hours or so while we try to make an effort to fix his goggles. Now, if we head down this way... Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and do the ruins. The ruins here, I could not believe that Poirot's just in sheer strength in this sequence. What we're supposed to do is come over to the little cave thing on the wall here, use the wooden oar, and then Poirot just becomes Arnold Schwarzenegger and rips it from its
You
place.
continue to impress me, Hastings.
Absolutely unfathomable. I don't know how he does this. It looks like it should easily weigh like 700 pounds, but he does it anyways.
From the looks of this tunnel, no one's been down here in a long time. The dust on the floor is undisturbed.
Roman pillars, the quartz pillars, clearly the work of the Romans.
A Roman column dating to the 1st century.
Very, very old stuff. And then just some strange incandescent overhead lights, which persist for some reason. The music in here is also quite nice. It gets spooky.
Roman to be sure. Just think of the history these stones have seen, Hastings.
1st century Roman architecture. Now, this'll make you angry with how difficult it was to see. I actually saw this without getting a guide or anything. Right here on the floor, we have a gold coin.
By Jove, a gold coin in top condition.
Okay, so that is something important that we'll have a look at. It is a 1689 gold guinea, and so of course that is a good 1600 years after the rest of these columns were invented, so we can kind of use that to infer that this place was probably once originally built by the Romans and the monks and their temple of Bacchus and whatnot, and later used probably as a smuggling hideout for Tom Cutter and all of his tricks. Now here's the tricky part about this place.
May know, my friend Hastings. I could blunder about in these tunnels for hours while who knows what crimes are committed in my absence. I need some means to ensure I am traveling in the proper direction.
So, Poirot is too afraid to get lost down here in these catacombs, and so we can't actually come back until we find some sort of trail of breadcrumbs that we can leave so that we know where to go. I'm not sure where to find that. Shouldn't be too hard, so I'm gonna be keeping an eye out for a spool of yarn, is what I'm gonna be looking for. That's about all we have to do here at the ruins. Down here on the beach, we've got the young Linda Marshall girl, who we actually can't talk to yet about Will Jenks.
No more can be learned by disturbing her any further at the moment.
And we also have the injured bird just over here to the side. We need to fix this bird, because the bird will apparently die without our help. It's the oil is what's got the bird all tangled up. Now, we come up here. I think there's a couple we can eavesdrop on. Here we
Henry,
are.
If I say something to you that is probably outrageously impertinent, will you never speak to me again?
This is Kenneth
I don't
Marshall
think I'd
and
ever regard
Rosamund
anything
Darnley,
you
I
say to me
think.
as impertinent.
Why don't you divorce Arlena? She's pretty notorious.
You don't understand, my dear girl.
Are you so frightfully fond of her?
It's not a question of that.
Arlena's not good for Linda, nor for you.
Perhaps. But you see, I gave my word. Marriage is a vow, Rosa. I'm sick of quick marriage and easy divorce. Arlena's my wife. That's all there is to it.
Till death do you part?
Yes. Till death do us part.
I see.
I can only assume that that is meant to be foreshadowing in some way. Now, if we come into the bar here, an ice pick has mysteriously materialized. Wait till you see what this is for, because it pisses me off because it makes no sense at all. Otherwise, the Kingsbridge fella's not in here. I think his name was Henry. And that should be all we need from outside at the moment. Now, some business to attend to in people's rooms. First off, Gladys actually left a cleaning cart just outside. And there's a couple of items we can pull off of it. Bristle brush, scissors, and detergent. 3 items right there. Next up, we're going to go out Poirot's room here. Oh, that's funny. I didn't know there was a Guillemot statue right there. Probably still saying that name incorrectly. And we're going to take these fresh towels that Gladys put in here. Head outside. And take it out to the balcony. Now, from here, we can poke into a ton of people's rooms. And we can actually snoop through a lot of them who don't lock their balcony doors. We'll start off with Montague Barry. This is the major, who's kind of creepy. Scratch that, really creepy. Over here on his bedside, we got something of interest.
From the looks of these betting receipts, the Major is his bookmaker's best and unluckiest customer.
Okay. So he has something of a gambling
I think
habit.
this room belongs to Major Barry.
Well noted of Hastings. And we've got right here, at his door, on his bed, a suitcase.
One of those straps on the suitcase might come in handy.
Now, this is about the most Poirot thing I've ever heard. He doesn't actually care to open the suitcase and see what's inside of it, but just to cut off this leather strap right here.
Let us hope the Major is not as observant as Poirot.
Granted, the strap is very helpful, as we will now use this to repair the goggles. Now, this is the part that really just infuriated me because it seemed to make no sense.
Almost there.
We got it a leather strap, but the problem is that they can still not be tightened without notches. I'm hardly certain how we're supposed to come to this conclusion, but you actually need to use the ice pick in order to notch the goggles correctly.
But yes, your ingenuity is remarkable.
So now we have fixed the pair of goggles, somehow tightened them with an ice pick. Really makes no sense to me. I would have sooner thought we'd use a belt loop or something. So that's that. Major Barry's room done now. Let's try Stephen Lane's room. This is the room of the vicar. Or the wicker, however he said it. He was the church guy, who was a little fire and brimstony. And on his bedstand...
A Bible, Poirot.
A Bible.
Not so unlikely a thing to find in the room of a former clergyman.
The passage, though. This is interesting.
Revelation 2:20. Thou sufferest that woman, Jezebel, which calleth herself a prophetess, to teach and to seduce my servants to commit fornication and to eat things sacrificed unto idols. Now, why would he have that particular passage open?
I'll leave that one open to the viewer interpretation.
If I remember correctly, this must be Stephen Lane's room.
Very well done, Hastings. I think there's something in his cabinet, actually. Yeah. We need some mineral
oil.
Mineral oil.
Makes a spiffing laxative.
We will borrow the mineral oil, Hastings. But Poirot has no need of the laxative.
Now, I will not confirm or deny whether or not we are going to spike someone's drink to make them have a laxative episode, but you'll have to stay tuned for that.
No markings on the bottle at all. I will take only 2. Perhaps we can determine what they are.
Now, we have found some strange unmarked pills in Stephen Lane's cabinet, too. I actually have no idea what those are yet, but I think I know where we can go to figure it out. We just can't do it yet, I don't think. Up next, Horace Blatt. I think his room is locked from the outside since he actually has a head on his shoulders.
Quite securely locked, I am afraid.
Come around the corner. The gardener's room, also locked.
The door, it is locked tight.
And then Emily Brewster's room. Can already tell that's going to be locked also.
No. The door, it will not budge.
Okay. Now we can come across the little bridge right here and step out onto the other balcony. And here we can find some interesting stuff. First thing that I want to note is that Arlena Stewart and her husband, Kenneth, have separate rooms.
Quite securely locked, I am afraid.
I don't think Poirot or Hastings even remarks about that detail, but just looking at that, you can kind of infer a little bit of environmental storytelling about the status of their marriage.
The door is locked, but I can hear their voices from within. Perhaps we should listen a bit closer, Hastings.
And now we get to listen to a conversation between Kenneth and Jezebel, Arlena herself.
You had no right to tell that silly little man about the notes.
If you can't take them seriously, someone must.
I rather thought you might have written them.
Me? Why on earth?
If you thought I'd been misbehaving again.
Do you think I can't see why you dragged us down here for a holiday?
Somebody told me about this place. I think it was the Rylands.
Look here, Arlena. I know what you're like. That boy is fond of his wife, really. Must you upset the whole blinking show?
Kenneth, don't let Patrick upset you so.
Ooh.
He's a puppy. Nothing more.
So you admit that young Redfern is crazy about you?
It's really rather stupid of him. You know, don't you, Ken, that I don't really care for anyone but you.
I think I know you pretty well, Arlena.
So Arlena is quite manipulative, as you can see, and Kenneth seems to not fall for it anymore. So good on Kenneth, because he is not in a good situation. Linda's door is locked, I think.
Latched tight on the inside.
As it should be with Montague prowling around. Rosamund Darnley's room is open, though. She's the old dressmaker. Pretty sure she's a dressmaker. Yeah, dressmaker's it. Sometimes I think she's a chairmaker, because that's what my mom does, actually. And in her suitcase, we can find a couple blank pieces of typing paper. Very interesting, except not really at all. Actually, I think the only thing in her room is just blank pieces of paper. So, awful, awful great of her. She was the one who actually had the typewriter stolen from her room, but the paper wasn't taken, I suppose.
Quite securely locked, I am afraid.
And with that, we have every single room that we can look at, for now, taken care of.